அப்பா அம்மாவுக்கு நல்ல ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி தேடிட்டு இருந்தோம்.
அப்பதான் ஸ்ரீவத்சம் ஃபேஸ் 2 கௌஸ்துபம் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி பத்தி தெரிஞ்சிட்டோம்.
சீனியர் சிட்டிசன்ஸ்க்காக நம்ம கௌஸ்துபம்ல ஆம்புலன்ஸ் ஃபெசிலிட்டி, ஹவுஸ் கீப்பிங், சீனியர் ஜிம், ஹை கிளாஸ் வெஜிடேரியன் ஃபுட்,
சிவா விஷ்ணு ஆலயம், பாடசாலை, கோசாலை, வாக்கிங் ட்ராக், பார்க்,
travel arrangements, 24 hours security, 24 hours power backup generator, indoor games, entertainment programs.
இப்படி பெரியவாளுக்கான சகல வசதிகளோட அமைஞ்சதுதான் ஸ்ரீவத்சம் ஃபேஸ் 2 கௌஸ்துபம் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி. திருவடியமருதூர் ஸ்ரீ மகாலிங்க சுவாமி திருக்கோவில் இருந்து 800 மீட்டர்ல அமைஞ்சதுதான் நம்ம கௌஸ்துபம் ட்ரெடிஷனல் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி.
நம்முடைய பாரத தேசத்தில் தமிழ்நாட்டில் கும்பகோணத்தில் உயர்ந்த ரீதியாக வயசானவெல்லாம் வந்து அங்கே இருந்துட்டு 4வது புருஷார்த்தமான அறம், பொருள், இன்பம் எல்லாத்தையும் அணைஞ்சுட்டு வீடு, தர்ம, அர்த்த, காமம் முடிஞ்சு மோட்சத்தை நோக்கி போகக்கூடிய எல்லா ஆஸ்திகாலுக்கும் அங்கே வந்து இருந்துட்டு அதை அனுஷ்டிச்சுட்டு பாக்கி காலத்தை தெய்வத்தோடு நினைச்சுக்கிறதுக்காக வேண்டி ஒரு நல்ல உத்தேசத்தில் ஒரு ஏழை ஏற்பாடு ஆகிட்டுருக்கு. அது ஸ்ரீவத்சம் அப்படிங்கிற பேர். மேல் அவள் யார் நடத்துகிறாளோ அவளே வந்து கௌஸ்துபங்கிற இன்னொரு இடம் கட்டின்னு இருக்காங்க. இங்கே உள்ளவா, அமெரிக்காவில் உள்ளவா, ஆஸ்திரேலியா, லண்டன்கிற மாதிரி இங்கே உள்ள எல்லா வயசானவாளும் அங்கே வந்து இருந்துட்டுருக்கா. குழந்தைகள்லாம் இங்கே இருந்துட்டுருக்கா, பெரியவாள்லாம் அங்கே வந்து இருந்துட்டுருக்கா. கொஞ்சம் கூட எந்த விதமான பயமும் இல்லாதக்கு சந்தோஷமாக திருப்தியாக இருந்துட்டுருக்கா. அதை நினச்சிட்டு குழந்தைகள்லாம் திருப்தியாக இருந்துட்டுருக்கா இல்லையா? அம்மா அப்பா அங்கே இருந்துட்டுருக்காளே, என்ன பண்ணாலும் தெரியாதக்கு இல்லாதக்கு அவள் சந்தோஷமாக இருந்துட்டுருக்காங்கிற திருப்தியோடு இங்கே இருந்துட்டுருக்கா. அப்பேற்பட்ட ஒரு காம்ப்ளெக்ஸை கட்டின்ட்டுருக்கா. ஸ்ரீவத்சம்னு பேர் இதுக்கு. இப்போ வரக்கூடிய அந்த காம்ப்ளெக்ஸுக்கு வந்து கௌஸ்துபம்னு பேர். மகான்கள்லாம் வந்து அனுகிரகம் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. முழுக்க முழுக்க சாஸ்திரத்துக்கு ஒட்டின ஒரு வாழ்க்கை இது. பூஜை, புனஸ்காரம், ஜபம், ஹோமம், அபிஷேகம், நாம சங்கீர்த்தனம்ங்கிற மாதிரி விஷ்ணு சாஸ்திரநாமம், லலிதா சாஸ்திரநாமம், ஷஷ்டி பூஜை, சதுர்த்தி அபிஷேகங்கள், பிரதோஷ பூஜை அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ரொம்ப வசந்த ரீதியாக நடந்துட்டுருக்கு. அதை நடத்தக்கூடிய Sri.S.Seetharaman அவர் தான் இவர். போன மாதம் நான் பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தேன், அங்கே போகிறேன் சரி சொன்னேன். அப்போது என்ன விஷயம் கேட்டால் மகாருத்ரம் நடக்க போகிறது போகிறேன் அப்படின்னேன். நான் சாதாரணமாக அவரை நீங்களும் வாங்கோலே வந்து கலந்து போனீங்க அப்படின்னேன். இதுவும் பேஷாக வரலாமே அப்படின்னவர். இதற்கு முன்னால் இந்த அமெரிக்காவுக்கு 4 ட்ரிப்பு வந்துருக்கிறவர். என்னுடைய அந்த கௌஸ்துபத்தையும் அந்த சமாதானத்தையும் ஜஸ்ட் பேச மட்டும்தான். நிஜமாக பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது வியாபாரம் கிடையாது. பண்ணுறதை வந்து தெரிவிக்கணும், வருவாங்க வரட்டும், அவ்வளோதான். கர்மண்யேவாதிகாரஸ்தே மா பதேஷு கதாச்சனாங்கிற வார்த்தைக்கு என்ன அர்த்தமோ அதை அப்படியே பண்ணி காமிச்சவர். நிறைய வந்திருக்கேன். இப்போ நான் சொன்னேன் நிறைய வந்திருக்கேன். நீங்கள் இப்போ நான் போகிறேங்க, நீங்கள் வாங்க, 4 நாள் இங்கே இருப்பேன், மனுஷாலாம் இங்கே இருப்பா, வந்து தெரிவிங்கோ, யாருக்கு பிராப்தி கொண்டு வரட்டும் அப்படின்னு நான் கேட்டுட்டேன். அதுக்கு வேற என்ன ஒன்று டக்குன்னு கிளம்பி வந்துட்டார். அப்பேற்பட்ட பெரிய ஒரு என்ன சந்தர்ப்பம் அது, விஷயத்தை அவர் சொல்லுவார். அது மட்டும் இல்லை, பலவிதமான ஒரு யோகிதை உள்ள வச்சிருக்கிறது. ராமாயணங்கள், பாகவதங்கள், மகாபாரதங்கள், ஸ்கந்த புராணம், இது தவிர சிற்பக்கலையில் உள்ள விஷயங்கள் அவருக்கு தெரியாததே கிடையாது. எப்போ படித்தாலும் தெரியாது. எப்போ கொடுத்தாலும் எந்த சப்ஜெக்டாக இருந்தாலும் ஒன்றும் குறிப்பு வச்சுக்காதுக்கு அப்படியே பேசிகிட்டே போயிட்டே இருக்கிறவர். சுவையாக பேசுவார், ஒப்பிக்கிறது இல்லை, இல்லை விரும்பி கேட்குற மாதிரி பேசுவார். தமிழில் நல்லா பாண்டித்யம் அவர். நம்மளாம் வந்து நமக்காக பெரிய பாக்கியம் ஒரு பெரிய படுத்திருக்கார். ஒரு வார்த்தையினால 2 வார்த்தை இன்றைக்கி பேசக்கூடிய என்னன்னு சொல்லி வருவார். எல்லோரும் வந்து அவசியம் இந்த சவனம் பண்ணி யாருக்கு அபிப்பிராயம் இருக்கோ அவெல்லாம் வந்து அங்கே கலந்துக்கலாம். கௌஸ்துபம் சொல்லக்கூடிய அந்த இதில் இது 6வது ப்ராஜெக்ட் அவருக்கு அங்கே தமிழ்நாட்டில் சேங்கனூரில், அப்புறம் வந்து சேங்காதிபுரத்துலையா, சேங்காதிபுரத்தில், திருவண்ணாமலையில், கல்யாணபுரத்தில், கோவிந்தபுரத்தில், இந்த திருவையாறில் இங்கங்கே அந்த மாதிரி அங்கங்கே எல்லாம் பண்ணி கொடுத்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஆச்சாரமான ஒரு ஏற்பாடு இது. இப்போ நாங்கள் இருக்கிற ஸ்ரீவத்சத்தில் 750 அப்பார்ட்மெண்ட் இருந்துட்டுருக்காங்க, 750 ஃப்ளாட் இருந்துட்டுருக்கு. நான் இங்கே தான் இருந்துட்டுருக்கோம். இங்கே சிவன் கோவில், இங்கே பெருமாள் கோவில். கார்த்தாலேருந்து ஆரம்பித்து கௌசல்யா சுப்ரஜா ராமபூர்வா சந்தியா பிரவர்த்ததே அதெல்லாம் ஆரம்பிக்கிறது. பார்த்து மாற்றி சாயங்காலம் விஷ்ணு சஹஸ்ரநாம பாராயணங்கிற மாதிரி அகோராத்திரம் தெய்வ சிந்தனையாகவே இங்கே இருந்துட்டுருக்கு. இப்போ வரப்போகிறது வந்து கௌஸ்துபம் சொல்லக்கூடிய அந்த இது. அதில் வந்து 400 பேர் கிட்டத்தட்ட வர போகிறாங்க. நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்துட்டுருக்கா, புக் ஆகிட்டே இருக்கு. இங்கே வந்து தான் சொல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியம் அது கிடையாது. இருந்தாலும் எல்லாரும் வரணும், தெரிவிக்கணும், வந்தால் சந்தோஷம் அப்படிங்கிற உத்தேசத்தில் வந்திருக்கேன். நம்மளாம் சேர்ந்து வர வெல்கம் பண்ணுறோம்.
I'm going to help everybody else understand what was just told. We have in our midst today Sri.S.Seetharaman, and he is here all the way from India, and he has agreed to graciously, share his thoughts, because once you hear what he's about, I mean, you're going to be really surprised. Okay, so he's a history lover to begin with. And he has completed his MPhil in history and is currently pursuing his PhD in temple architecture. He is also a published author. He has written a few books in Tamil and continues to write articles in several magazines on history. He has also acted in some plays. His career includes working in the tourism and hotel industry while also being part of the Rotary Club in India and holding several positions over the years. His current business is in real estate. He deals with building and promoting properties, including senior citizens' homes, and that's what Mama was talking about. He lives in one of the senior citizen homes that this Mama had built, and it is all spiritually oriented. They have temples inside and all, so it's really nice, and he's going to talk more about it. I don't want to take it away from him. And he has also won several awards and all through his life for the contributions he has made to history and real estate. So let's give him a warm welcome, and he's going to give us a talk on rituals in Hinduism.
Namaskaram. Good evening to all. ஸ்ரீ குருப்யோ நமஹ. எண்ணிய முடிதல் வேண்டும், நல்லவே எண்ணல் வேண்டும், திண்ணிய நெஞ்சம் வேண்டும், தெளிந்த நல்ல அறிவு வேண்டும். It's been a great pleasure being with you all in the divine place. Right from the morning, I am overwhelmed with brimming spirituality. Very rare to see a people together organizing everything and participating in the spiritual event. So I am the one, the luckiest to witness such a great spiritual event. I would like to thank the Chinmaya mission for providing such a great opportunity. Maharudram is going to be performed for another 3 days here, right from today morning. Brahmashri Sri.S.Seetharaman is a learned and experienced Pandit. He is famously known as Bombay TSR in southern part of India. We are lucky to have his expertise for this great spiritual function. I would like to thank Mr. Sri.Raman family and Motivelan family and all the devotees of Saint Antonio. So today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, I have an opportunity because of Brahmashri Sri.S.Seetharaman family. Today we are going to discuss some ideas about rituals in Hinduism. We are going to see the psychology behind and science behind. Tomorrow, the Bhakti tradition of India. The day after tomorrow, yogas. Special difference with Tirumala. Spiritual psychology explores the unity of spirit, mind, and body in humans. It connects personal and transpersonal realms. Hinduism encompasses various philosophical and religious traditions from India. Hinduism has no specific origin or founder. The tradition sees itself as timeless. The collection of sacred texts is known as Sanatana Dharma, the eternal teaching. It is a complex tradition with diverse religious doctrines and practices. A ritual is a symbolic set of actions. It may be prescribed by religion or tradition. Hindu rituals have been found to enhance spirituality, ego adjustment, understanding of psychic phenomena, health and wellness, exploration of distant prayer, and examination of the science-spirituality connection. Change is happening rapidly in our planet. This change is historically unprecedented. The world must adopt or face dire consequences. Inner transformation is the primary key to promoting peace. Spiritual psychology is a branch of psychology with basic postulates. The key concept is the primacy of spirit as the center of consciousness in humans. Spiritual psychology explores the relationship between the spirit, mind, and body. Spiritual psychology studies the integration of spirit, mind, and body in humans. It connects the secular and the sacred, the normal and the paranormal. Spiritual psychology and religious psychology are alike but separate. Religious psychology applies psychological principles to understand religious behavior. Spiritual psychology surpasses this. The essence of spiritual psychology is the primacy of spirit. In Indian tradition, spirit or Atman is consciousness. From the Indian perspective, spiritual psychology studies consciousness in relation to the thinking mind and the knowing brain. It explores the art and science of human consciousness evaluation. To fulfill this quest, we must understand the essence of human evaluation. In a nutshell, it means releasing anything that disturbs inner tranquility. It requires us to abandon our illusions of separation. The act of surrendering and sacrificing is called healing, which includes healing on physical, mental, and emotional levels, revealing our true nature of loving, peaceful, compassionate, and joyful beings. 3 schools of thought define the ultimate nature of reality, with most psychological and scientific models falling into one of these categories. So all people in the world can be categorized in these 3 types. Theism is a belief in God or deities. Atheism is a belief in the non-existence of God or any deity. Agnosticism is a belief that the existence of God or any deity cannot be answered. So we can see the psychology in the Indian tradition as follows. Indian tradition is pluralistic in nature, encompassing diverse languages, religions, and schools of thought that flourished for millennia. Probably it's incorrect to refer to the Indian tradition. Indian traditions provide a foundation for meaningful discourse on spiritual psychology. Indian psychology seeks truth and perfection within the human condition. The goal is to be authentic and vulnerable. Indian psychology explores consciousness and its true nature in human experience. Indian psychology includes principles and practices for human transformation. It has methods specific to its subject matter and objectives. The methods are observational, but different from outer sciences. They combine first-person and second-person perspectives. They offer personal and subjective authenticity. Indian psychology has the potential to transform individuals to perfection. It can be summarized as follows. Indian psychology studies the person. Probably we can call it Jiva or Jivatma. The person is a combination of spirit, mind, and body. Consciousness as such, or spirit, is distinct from material objects such as the brain and mind. The mind is separate from consciousness and the body or brain machine. The mind is a subtle material entity unlike consciousness. The mind is not bound by time and space like the brain. The mind connects consciousness and the brain processes. Human consciousness is influenced by the mind-body connection. The conditioned person becomes an instrument of individualized thought, passion, and action. Individualization leads to subjectivity, rational thinking, and relative truth and values. However, the ego emerges as the organizing principle. Ego brings attachment and craving, causing anxiety, stress, and suffering. The goal of humanity is liberation through disconditioning and transformation. A person can learn, understand, and realize through consciousness, mind, and body. Yoga liberates through various forms for seekers. This includes Jnana Yoga for knowledge, Bhakti Yoga for devotion, and Karma Yoga for action. The Indian model differentiates consciousness or spirit from mind and mind from brain. Consciousness is universal knowledge. It is the foundation of awareness. Consciousness is separate from the physical mind. Consciousness does not interact with the mind or physical universe. The person experiences and realizes mental phenomena through consciousness. Western studies focus on the mind's normal process. The focus is on the brain and sensory process. Third person perspective is used to study mental phenomena. Consciousness is disregarded in scientific discussions due to its unobservability. The consequence is a physical representation of the mind in a mechanical universe. So the mind is the best understood by identifying correlated brain states. Shortcomings of this approach include consciousness is commonly disregarded. Higher states of consciousness are often excluded from consciousness studies. Consciousness study focuses on theory, neglecting practical implications for higher awareness development. Indian and Western ideas on consciousness are distinct. The Eastern stream may be too focused on spirit and consciousness. The periphery of consciousness in the Western stream cannot navigate spiritual depths. So the two streams together make up the entire mental spectrum. A confluence between the two could enhance our understanding of the unity between mind, body, and spirit. Hinduism includes multiple religious and philosophical traditions in India. Hinduism led a specific movement or origin or founder. The tradition sees itself as timeless, always existing. Its sacred texts are collectively known as Sanatana Dharma, the eternal teaching. The tradition is complex with interrelated religious doctrines and practices, but lacking a unified system. Hinduism has many major sects and countless subsects with regional variations. These sects can be seen as distinct religious traditions with unique theologies and rituals. The Hindu worldwide is based on samsara and karma, which state that one's actions shape their present and future lives. Hindus believe in multiple deities who influence and interact with humans. The tradition is divided into four major sects: Shaiva, Vaishnava, Shakta, and Smarta. Particularly, the division belongs to Smarta. They don't have any discrimination. They observe every deity and its ideologies. Hinduism believes in auspicious timings for important events. Pandits or priests consult calendars to determine religious event times. Pandits or priests help determine the right day for marriage based on birth details and celestial factors. Hindus commonly have astrological charts made after birth for ongoing consultation with priests. Hindu gods and goddesses actively impact the world. They become present to their devotees through rituals. Today is the classic example. In the morning, before the spiritual ceremony takes place, Pandit T.S.R. Mama, he invoked all the gods and goddesses to be presented here. So that is what rituals are all about. Temples are sacred as they are the dwelling places of gods and goddesses accessible to humans. Temples are where Hindu rituals are mostly performed. These approaches are recognized as three paths to liberation: devotion, knowledge, and action. Hindu religious practices prioritize fulfilling social and life stage duties. Traditional Hindus pass through 4 life stages. Generally, it's called ashramas. The first one is the brahmacharya. During school years, focuses on knowledge and character development. Then comes grahastha, focuses on marriage, family, and career. When children reach adulthood, vanaprastha is a time for spiritual focus. In old age, one can choose a life of contemplation by renouncing the world. So these 4 stages are commonly practiced in India. Not all Hindus aim to complete all 4 stages as in every birth cycle, but many strive to do so, or at least reach the retirement stage. Ideally, one can achieve moksha by completing all 4 cycles. There are 4 goals of life or a major aspect of Hindu religion. The goals are kama, artha, dharma, and moksha. Humans initially seek pleasure and power, but eventually learn to balance these desires with moral harmony. Moksha is the ultimate goal for absolute happiness, liberating from samsara. The majority of Hindus believe in God. Many beliefs derive from that basic belief. You can see some. Hindus mostly believe in the Supreme Soul. Belief that truth is the goal of life. Belief in the authority of the Vedas. Belief in the idea that time is circular and not linear. Belief in karma and karmic consequences. Belief in the concept of dharma. Belief in tolerance as the core value. Rituals. Rituals are occupying a primary position in Hindu tradition. A ritual is a set of actions performed mainly for their symbolic value. It may be prescribed by a religion or by the traditions of a community. The term usually excludes actions which are arbitrarily chosen by the performers. A ritual may be performed on specific occasions or at the discretion of individuals or communities. It may be performed by a single individual, by a group, or by the entire community. In arbitrary places or in places especially reserved for it, either in public, in private, or before specific people. Rituals may be limited to certain groups and mark transitions between religious and social states. Rituals serve various purposes. Rituals are a common feature in all known human societies. This includes worship rites, sacraments, rites of passage, oaths, ceremonies, and events like marriages and funerals. In psychology, ritual refer to repetitive behavior used to neutralize the anxiety. Ritual actions have no limits. Social rites encompass various elements such as gestures, words, music, dances, objects, clothing, and food. Religious rituals have also included once upon a time. Now, this kind of rituals are not in practices. Religious rituals have also included animal sacrifice, human sacrifice, and ritual suicide. The departed soul's journey required mournful songs and tears. Hindu rituals can happen outside of temples too, and certainly not all rites and ceremonies are directed toward the gods and goddesses. Virtually every aspect of Hindu life, in fact, is marked by ritual actions. We can have a small glimpse of history of Hindu rituals. The Aryans, like most religious people throughout the world, considered ritual much more important than doctrine and belief. The Veda itself was a manual of ritual, not of creed statements or theology. Major samskaras in Hinduism. Hindu scriptures prescribe rituals for 16 stages of life. Samskaras are the 16 which start from cradle to cremation rituals. They start at conception and continue with pre-birth rituals. After birth, childhood rituals include naming, first feeding, first haircut, and ear piercing. Childhood rituals lead to initiation ceremonies into adulthood, then followed by householder-related rituals, including the wedding. The final stages of life include retirement preparation and funeral rituals. There are 16 samskaras usually followed in the Hindu tradition, right from birth to death. Garbhadanam, the act of conception. Pumsavanam, the expectant mother consumes barley, grain and curd. Simandam, ritual in the 4th month of a woman's first pregnancy. The expectant mother is anointed with oil, her hair is parted, and bystanders chant the words Om and Jagradis. Jadak Karma, birth ritual performed for a male newborn. The baby receives mixture of ghee, honey and gold. Namakaranam, naming ceremony on the 12th day after birth. The father repeats the new name 3 times. Nishkramanam, child leaves the home for the first time, usually occurs 4 months after birth. Annaprashanam, ritual for giving child solid food for the first time. Chudakarana, ceremony of cutting the child's hair for the first time. Karnavetam, rituals for piercing the ears. It applicable for both boys and girls. Vidyarambham, beginning of learning. A child who is between 3 to 5 years old receives the words written on its tongue. Hari Shri Ganapataye Namaha Avignamastu. Upanayanam, 8-year-old boy begin wearing the sacred thread called Yajñopavitam. Parishartham, studying the Vedas and Upanishads. Kesandam, ritual marking a 16-year-old boy's first shave. Ritu Shuddhi, ritual associated with a girl's first menstruation. Samavartanam, the end of the formal education. Vivagam and Sandhi Muhurtam, a ritual of first sexual intercourse performed shortly after the wedding. Antyasthi, funeral rites. So here are some brief mentions of day-to-day rituals in Hinduism. Hindu rituals were likely basic sacrifices at the household fires, with the father acting as priest and offering food to the devas in the morning and evening. The purpose was to honor and acknowledge dependence on the gods. The other one is a ritual specialist who performs shamanic rituals. Aryan families seek this priest's help during crises like sickness. Shaman is a cross-cultural term for those with spiritual access. The other one had diverse abilities apart from healing and protecting against demons and snakes. Promote good luck in gambling could cause misfortune for one's enemies. Many people perform similar healing rituals and provide protection from devils and predict the future through astrology. A ritual is the prescribed form of religious worship. Rituals often express reverence for a deity or idealized state, regardless of the religious context. Puja is associated with rituals that involve worship. It signifies honor. Puja involves veneration of gods and entering a relationship. Puja involves receiving, honoring, and entertaining the deity. Pujas are done at different levels, from simple home pujas to elaborate temple pujas. Puja involves selfless love towards the god. Puja, including singing and sometimes dancing, is offered in temples, but many Hindus visit primarily for darshan. Bathing in the Gangas is a sacred ritual. It is believed that the Ganges river comes from Shiva's hair. Nature is a sacred reminder of the world's divine origin. Sculptures and images of gods are treated with reverence in home shrines. They are found in mandirs and Hindu homes where they are venerated. Mandirs are regarded as sacred places. Varanasi, an ancient holy city, has sacred pilgrimage rituals. It is a sacred place or pilgrimage for all Hindus. Other pilgrimage places include Shardham in Uttarakhand, Dwarkadish in Gujarat, and Tirupati in South India. Hindus embody Ram and Sita as the perfect couple during their wedding. Marriage honors ancestors. The bride and groom demonstrate unity by circling the fire and knotting their clothes. Hindu festivals involve popular rituals that unite Hindus of all classes. Holi is a spring and harvest festival. People paint each other to represent equality at this festival. Diwali, the festival of lights, celebrates the triumphant homecoming of Ram and Sita to Ayodhya. Raksha Bandhan is a ceremony where brothers pledge to protect their sisters. Shraddha rituals repay debts to ancestors and facilitate repayment to God and sages. Sages, being hot-tempered, can curse and trap the embodied soul. Repaying ancestors' debts is simple through the ritual of Shraddha. To repay debts and progress towards liberation, rely on ancestral debts as a link between God and sages. Performing the Shraddha ritual can help one progress towards reaching God and sages with the support of ancestor souls, Vasu, Rudra, and Aditya. Invoking Vasu, Rudra, and Aditya can bless deceased ancestors and bring blessings from God. Hinduism is practiced through various spiritual exercises including devotion, selfless service, knowledge, and meditation. These are explained in two key texts of Hindu yoga, the Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutras. The Upanishads are a philosophical foundation for rational spiritualism. The Yoga Sutras categorize paths from margas to moksha. Sacrifice was the main religious activity in the Vedic period and remains a fundamental tradition in Hinduism. Vedic sacrifice is well organized. Brahmin Pandits follow strict rules for purifying preparations, altar construction, offering preparation, and ritual performance. This is done to please the gods and maintain order or dharma. Death rituals symbolize the transition from life to the next realm. Shraddha is a crucial Hindu funeral ritual. These are called samskaras. Proper properly performing death rituals is of utmost importance. Otherwise, the deceased may become a ghost and haunt the surviving relatives. Pinda Pradana is a significant death ritual involving the offering of small rice balls to feed the deceased. The family typically goes to a sacred river crossing to scatter some of the cremated remains, ensuring a safe passage to the next life. The death ritual involving cremation on a funeral pyre is traditionally led by the eldest son or closest male relative. Sacred rivers like the Ganges are often used to scattering ashes. Implications of spirituality. Beliefs. Religious or spiritual beliefs should be considered valid due to the plausibility of theistic and Eastern worldviews. Rituals plays a significant role in Hinduism. Rituals express the significance of Hinduism. These activities promote spirituality and a realistic view of the world. Hindu rituals enhance spirituality, ego adjustment, understanding of psychic phenomena, maintenance of health, the power of distant prayer, and the connection between science and spirituality. Thank you. Thanks for the nice opportunity.
இவாளோட பிரார்த்தனை எல்லாம் ஸ்ரீவத்சம் ஃபேஸ் 2 கௌஸ்துபம் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டி நன்னா வரணும்ன்றது தான்.
ஸ்ரீவத்சத்துல இப்போ எங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிற மனசு நிம்மதியும் திருப்தியும் ஸ்ரீவத்சம் ஃபேஸ் 2 கௌஸ்துபத்துல நிச்சயமா கிடைக்கும்.
நாங்க இப்போ அனுபவிச்சிருக்கிற பக்தி பரவசத்தையும் கலை நிகழ்ச்சிகளையும் நீங்க நிச்சயம் கௌஸ்துபத்துல அனுபவிக்கலாம்.